Good morning. Having one of these mornings. Third take. We'll get it. We'll figure it out. I'm rusty. It's been a while. Obviously, if you watched yesterday's recap, I got some work to do. All right. So 5 games last night. One game I kind of spot checked on periodically. That's why it's up here. The other 4 games I had on my devices and was absorbing everything that was taking place. So a 6-4 win by the Topeka Scarecrows. They come in, they sweep. They had great success in baiting Indiana into playing their game instead of Indiana playing Indiana's game. Sammy Bernard and Parker Rutherford face off for the second straight night. And hey, we have totals because as you're watching the game, even though these weren't reported on the Fed website, as you're watching the game, the scoreboard is right across the way, and it has the time, it has the score, and it has shots on goal. So I wrote that down, and so there you go. So we can assign numbers and give credit to Sammy Bernard and Parker Rutherford for the saves they made. Bernard 18 for 22, and Rutherford 37 of 42 in saves. There was an empty net goal. 59-54 is time on ice because it was just a clean win off of the face-off and then shoot the puck down the other end of the ice and seeing empty net. So yeah, Rutherford missed all of 6 seconds. The game-winning goal was scored late by Elijah Wilson. Power play goal, 16:48 of the third. There was a time at the end of the second. It was 3-2 Indiana. Indiana, their power play unit is looking pretty good. Scored 3 power play goals. Unfortunately for them, so did Topeka, based off of 70 penalty minutes, and that is something that Indiana cannot do. They cannot be taking up a summer home in the penalty box. And that's what happened. 120 total penalty minutes. Very ugly game. At one point, there was a scrap, and it took the officials forever. I mean, it literally took about 15 minutes for them to sort everything out and get play underway again. It's kind of ridiculous. But nonetheless, Topeka 2-0, and Indiana 0-2 on the young season. So good crowd as well, 827. Remember, this is a small barn, only seats 1,000. So 827 is a good crowd. All right, so the first game I did watch, Port Huron, Danbury. And Port Huron proved they weren't going to be bullied. They were not going to have the flow of the game dictated to them. They just played better. The big difference is Port Huron used their physicality to assert a net front presence, and it seemed like for Kyle Penton, who was playing his first pro game, there was always somebody right in his face, making it very difficult to make saves. You're not seeing the puck well. You're not tracking the puck well. There's rebounds in close tight. So yeah, that's where the Prowlers use their physicality to make a difference. Hat tricks, they're out there being physical, but nothing to show for it. And that's a big difference. So, as we go into the game, this side, it's Brett Lockhart scoring first at 8:23 of the first period. That's the game-winning goal. Assist to Brockway. Fans were not too happy about that, but what are you going to do? We had a goal in the second period, 3:18. It was Reggie Millette scoring. Originally, the goal was credited to Graham, but then later on they looked at it and said, no, this is Millette's goal. Graham does get an assist, and he's just 54 points away from number 2 on the all-time scorers list. Excuse me. Okay. Shortly after the Millette goal, ugly incident in which Zach Pamelayan gets a match penalty for a spear. That is an automatic ejection. That is a 5-minute major penalty that goes up on the board. Pamelayan, yeah, he doesn't have a track record as far as being a dirty player, so I would fully expect that the suspension, and yeah, there's gonna be one, will only be for a game. They'll probably be announced Monday or possibly Tuesday, so watch Fed Transaction Board for that. Anyway, so yeah, the hat tricks are shorthanded for 5 minutes, and it is R2 Hakala making them pay. I love that name. One the best name in the Fed right now. So yeah, he scores at 12:26 on that power play. It was the only goal that the hat tricks gave up on that power play, but at this point, it's 3-0. Third period, Nick Favreau, who came in a trade from Monroe, he adds a power play goal at 13:28, and there you go, 4-0. Cooper, 38. Of course, the night before he stopped 47-48, so he is definitely going to be one of the stars of the week that we will put on Facebook. For the hat tricks, well, Penton, he didn't play badly. 25-29. He looked composed, but again, he always had somebody in his face, so that made it very, very hard. Swanson, another 15 minutes, penalty minutes. What more can you say? I would really like to see. I think I've said it here before on these videos that Jesse Swanson is so much better than this. He proved in juniors that he is a talented forward. He can score. He can skate. He's not being given that opportunity, and I hate that for him. I really do. He ends up playing a role that, yeah, everyone wants him to play and everyone expects him to play, but it's not where he excels. I wish he was given the opportunity to show what he can do. All right, announced crowd, and now I'm off my soapbox. Announced crowd 2031 matches the total from Friday night. Interesting. Okay, so I don't make up the attendance numbers. I just report them. Okay, next game, PeeDee. You're going to see a lot of games like this from PeeDee this year, 7-5. Could be the other way around. Could be 5-7. But yeah, PeeDee. Yeah, I talked about this in the previews. Their talent is up front. They're gonna. It's kind of the old Edmonton Oilers approach. Edmonton's defense wasn't the greatest back in the day during the dynasty years of the Oilers, but they could score a ton of goals, and that's how they beat you. And that's what they did last night to the Columbus River Dragons. And we had shots on goal. Actually came through very late in the game. The weird stat, though, didn't you know there were 7 empty net goals scored last night? Somebody needs a little extra training with the recording the stats in the that department, but nonetheless, anyway, it's just a funny stat. Okay, so first goal that was scored was not by PeeDee. PeeDee did not go at 3-0 as reported on the Fed website. No, the first goal was scored by Tyler Barrow of the River Dragons at 5-11. And then PeeDee went on a 3-goal run. Scoring at 7:06, it was Houston Wilson. And then right after that, we had a penalty shot by Kyle Moore, but Ricardo Gonzalez was able to stick the pad out right at the last minute and take away a goal. And so we went on. And then Nick Golo scores at 11:47 of the first, 14:08. It's Trevor Lord getting on the board. So, yeah, the offensive machine is starting to roll. And, PeeDee fans are very happy about that. To close out the first period, Ryan Galvin scores on the power play to get Columbus within 1 goal. So, PeeDee, though, really, really asserted themselves in the offensive zone in this game, and they just kind of took off later on. Although this game went back and forth. You had first goal by Columbus, next 3 goals by PeeDee. Next 3 goals by Columbus, starting with the Galvin goal, and then in the second period at 1:47, it is Kirk Underwood scoring. 2:07, so bam, bam, it is Tyler Barrow. Originally, the goal was credited to Underwood. They changed that. Nope, it's Tyler Barrow's goal. So Barrow is now on hat trick watch. Didn't happen though. So it's 4-3 at this point. Port Huron. Why the PeeDee? I need more coffee. PeeDee bounces back. It's Eli Rivers tying things up at 10:22. Columbus goes back up. It is Underwood, and it was his goal this time. 13-16 on that one. But again, PeeDee answers. It is just so scoring at 14:51. Originally, they thought it was Lord. Nope, they changed that. Just so's goal. Lord gets an assist, and then he gets his own goal again at a power play goal at 19:17. So it's 6-5 PeeDee at this point. Go to the third period. Nick Golo adds his second of the night at 7:35. Again, the power play. So so PeeDee was able to convert twice on the power play. 7-5 late in the game. Trevor Babin is pulled for the extra attacker. Nothing doing. No harm, no foul. Game ends 7-5. So we had a nice matchup between the Rockers tandem of old, Trevor Babin and Ricardo Gonzalez. Gonzalez got the better of the deal, stopping 29-34 for the win. Babin saves 34 and 41 shots. Both of these guys are going to have better games. So 27-27 on hand. Not surprised by that. I figured the crowd would be much better on Friday, and it was, but that's okay. A lot of season left to go. Columbus is 1-1-0, and PeeDee is now 1-0-1. All right, to Watertown we go for the completion of the home and home series. Binghamton and Watertown, and game in Watertown means one thing, and that is a lot of steak being shown during the stop sets. A lot of steak. That's an inside joke between Jeff Barrett and I, but yeah. So the production team likes to tantalize fans with broiling meat, and so anyway, so Binghamton comes in. Of course, they had pulled out a shootout winner the night before in Binghamton, and things still stayed close through 2 periods, although at first it looked like Binghamton was going to jump out to a huge lead. Watertown collected themselves to their credit, made it tight until the third period. But okay, we go into the first, and it is, I'm on the wrong page again, Mac Jansen scoring the first goal on the power play. Yeah, very quickly, Watertown ends up in the box. This is, and the game was clean. It was a clean game. All the penalties were minor penalties, but each team had 8. You got to clean that up. Both Binghamton and Watertown, you got to clean that up. So it is Jansen scoring 59 seconds in. Of course, he had the shootout winner, so he had 2 goals in a row of sorts. Binghamton scores again at 2:21. It's Austin Thompson. So it's a real quick 2-0, and Wolves fans are going, uh-oh. But the Wolves responded very well and very quickly. Halfway through the first period, it is Stephen Klink scoring on power play. And it was a very, very well executed power play by the Wolves. And Stephen Klink is going to be their offensive leader, no doubt. Shortly after that, 49 seconds, initially a contested goal. Well, it had to be contested. Dylan Gutierrez scores from the high slot. Chris Corrigan was right in front of Binghamton goaltender Wyatt Freelander. And so the goal scored. It's a good goal, but the referees wash it out, say, nope, there was goalie interference. So now, for there to be goalie interference, contact has to be made. There was no video proof from two different angles that Corrigan actually made contact with Friedlander. So Coachman challenged the call because the call was, nope, no goal. Coachman said, what are you talking about? They look at it on video, and yep, it's determined. Coachman knows what he's talking about. The goal is good. It stands. And because there was no definite video video proof that there was contact. So initially the call being it's a good goal, that stands. All right, so on we go. In the second period, it is Cervoni scoring for the Binghamton Black Bears, 13:32. They go back up 3-2, but not so fast. It's Darian Benchich, former Black Bear. Benchich joined the Black Bears late last year, was on the roster early this year, gets traded to Watertown, and he played himself a good game, gets on the scoreboard, his first pro goal. And it's 3-3 with just 18 seconds go in the second period. Shots through two were 34-23, but it's 3-3 on the board. Third period, Binghamton came out guns a-blazing, and they just took over the game. 3-18, it's CJ Stubbs on the power play. And then back-to-back goals for newcomer Tim Kim. He scores the first at 4:56, and then also at 10:02. So it's 6-3 now, and just for good measure, Austin Thompson adds his second of the night at 16:56. That was the end of the night for Anton Borodkin, who makes his first start. It was a little rough last night. So yeah, he ends up saving 40 of 47 in 56 played. Jaden Little comes in, makes the last two saves, and we have ourselves a 7-3 game in favor of the Black Bears. 2-0 on the year. Watertown now 0-1-1. So yeah, Jansen, goal and 2 assists. We had Stubbs, goal, 2 assists. Yates, 3 assists. Yeah, Wyatt Freelander looked very good in his first pro game, saving 25 of 28. And then, yeah, Borodkin, we talked about him, 40 of 47. Maybe shaking the rust off a little bit. We'll wait and see. Final game of the night, and this is where we started having our technical issues flared up. I started off the game on Sporfy with Monroe. The only camera angle they had was right behind Sean Kuhn. So I went to their Facebook page, and then that ended up shutting off. So then I go to Biloxi's Sporfy page, no audio. So, and then that went out for a time. So I went between like 3 different video feeds for this one game. And yeah, what a night for Parker Moskal. As I said in the teaser for this, Moskal does it all, and a little bit of everything. So we had Sean Kuhn in goal, and started off the game with Josh Rosenzweig. Not a good night. Not a good night at all for Josh. So we started off the game. Parker Moskal scores the first game from the high slot at 2:33. So the place erupts. Obviously, here we go. Looking at things. Almost immediately after that, Declan Conway counters for the Breakers at 3:50. Right after that, next shift, Moskal and Conway get in each other's grill. Unfinished business from last year being discussed. Both of them go off the ice, even though it was kind of a fight. They both just get 2 minutes for roughing, get put in the box. So, meanwhile, and the 4-on-4, the ensuing 4-on-4, Rexmo scores 5:34. No, I'm sorry, 6:08. It was 5:34 that the scrap happened. Then at 7:20, it's Andrew Blount scoring for Monroe. Yeah, yeah, it was getting ugly. Rex Moe scores at 8:06. So that's the end of of Rosenzweig's night. In 8:06, 8:26, excuse me, he faced uh, 11 shots, saved 6. 3 were in one sequence where he was on his belly, flopping like a fish, and was able to come up with a couple of amazing saves. But yeah, it was just not a good night for Rosenzweig. So in comes Elwa Bouchard, plays the rest of the game. On the stats, it says Bouchard started the game. He did not. Rosenzweig started. But anyway. Okay, so it's four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, actually, I gotta change that. My bad. This stat is incorrect. It would have been he saved 7 of 11. But anyway, so because it was 4-1 at this point, Sam Turner just keeps the pressure on. He scores at 13-12. So we end the first 5-1. Oh yeah, after the Rex Mo goal, the second one, yeah, 10-21. Conway and Moskal get into it again, as does Blake Keller and Tucker Scantlebury. Scantlebury is thrown out of the game. Moskal's given a 10-minute misconduct. So off he goes. But we'll see him again very soon. You get to the end of the first period, and it's 5-1. Shots were 20-5 in that first period. And guess who's driving the Zamboni? Parker Moskal. Yep. All right. So into the second period we go, and the Biloxi tries to make a game out of it. Just 21 seconds in, it's Cole Crowder scoring his first of the year. So it's 5-2. But shots, again, very heavy in Monroe's favor. In that second period, it was 21-7. Third period, suddenly something clicks with Biloxi, and they start making a comeback. It's Lucas Pekarchik scoring at 1:12. That makes it 5-3. Derek Doby-Plouffe, he scores at 3:10 to get that 3-goal cushion back. But then Biloxi goes on a tear. It is Caden Henry, 9:12. Caden Henry at 10:16. Chris Hansen at 12:03. Suddenly, it's a tie game. And I know it didn't get reflected. It said 6-5 on the score bug, but it was tied up. So, yeah, unfortunately for Biloxi, that's when things kind of dried up in the well. And Monroe just went on another tear. Austin Albrecht, 13:43. Hagen Moe at 16:37. And Parker Moskal just 12 seconds later with the end game, the nightcap. So he gets the first goal of the game, the last goal of the game, gets in a couple fights, drives a Zamboni. It's a 9-6 win for the Monroe Moccasins on a night that was not good for any goaltender. Rosenzweig, so he would have been 7-for-11, and that would have made Bouchard 38-41. But yeah, those 3 goals were all close together just in the 3-minute span in the third period. So Akun, 18-24, and not the stats you want, but you get the win. So Monroe, to the delight of the nice crowd of 51-56 on hand, they get a win, and Biloxi tries to figure things out on their defensive end. So they're 0-1 on the new season. So there we go. There is our recap. Going to get better at this. So got to get back into the flow of it. But anyway, tomorrow we will have stars and standings. I mean, we're 2 games in, so it is what it is. But the stars will go through, and we'll list it for you. That will be on Facebook tomorrow. So look for that. Make sure that you're following me on the Facebook page. That's where I print the news as it happens. And then make sure you're subscribed here as well on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all your support and for watching. We will talk to you again very, very soon.